get my way up 24 hours a day, cause I'm hot like that. Every guy everywhere just gives me mad attention, like I'm under inspection. I always get the 10, cause I'm built like that. I go through guys like money flying out the hands. They try to change me but they realize they can't. And every tomorrow is a day I never planned. If you're gonna be my man, understand I can't be saved, I can't be saved, I can't.
So it is August 1st, 2013. 27 days from now, I will be the amazing age of 36 years old. Honestly, I can't wait. I love getting older. I don't love the deterioration of your body as you get older, but considering the fact that I'm holding my age quite well, I don't mind it so very much. Honestly, my mother came and got the kitten. It has been probably a week since, maybe a week and a half since I've done a video. A lot of things have happened. I got another roommate. Actually, the day that I did my last video, that night, I actually got another roommate. So I'm happy about that. My house is full again. I can honestly, on a lighter note, feel fall or autumn approaching. The weather is just amazing. Honestly, with all the rain that we've gotten here in the southeast, I am kind of frightened about what type of winter we will have, because under normal circumstances, if you have a very rainy year, when winter approaches, you have a very snowy winter. So I'm kind of frightened about that. Although I am seeing an Italian who, by the way, lives in Italy. And of course we don't get to see one another on a regular basis. I still love talking about my ex because he lesson learned. I'm going to tell you guys just what a fucking bitch I can be when someone that I am seeing wants to fuck me over. This fool, I would wake up in the middle of the night and he would be on, of course I would have to go to work at 3 o'clock the next morning. He would be on the computer talking to other women. And when I would wake up, of course he heard my alarm clock sound, so automatically he would end the conversation, whether it be on the phone or on the internet with these bitches, and come into the bedroom or meet me halfway to the bathroom and tell me how much he loved me and blah, 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 blah. Every single time he did this, I said, what the fuck have you done wrong now? Every single time. I always knew that he was doing something fucked up. At any rate, to get him back, which I did quite well, on a lighter note, he would go to his mother's every so often, and she would hand him prescription drugs hand over fucking fist. It would take me weeks to get him off of the addiction to these drugs, whether it be marijuana or the pills his mother was handing him. She's a nurse, by the way. So, shame, shame. If that's the kind of fucking nurse you are, I don't want you taking care of me ever. I would not want any doctor or nurse that had no better sense than to do shitty things like that. She knows well her son is addicted to drugs. And yet she also knew that he was living with me at the time. So she could do whatever the fuck she wanted to do, and I would have to deal with the consequences of it, which I was never happy about. I begged and pleaded with this bitch not to give her son prescription medicines. I begged and pleaded with his grandmother not to give him prescription medicines. And these, by the way, are not his prescription. They're Valium and Vicodin and all kinds of opiates just to chill him the fuck out for no reason. He just wanted a high, which, by the way, he would snort constantly. I'm not a snorter. I don't do drugs. Shit going up my nose, I'm not real fond of. How many of you have had pool water up your nose? It's not very pleasant. So why you would want to snort anything is beyond me. At any rate, I bought this house, and he comes back from his mother's after a weaning period of almost a month. He had not been over there. And he comes back with a fucking handful of pills. So, that pissed me off. But I did not say one word about it. Instead, I go through his phone because I felt like something shady was going on. And trust me, under normal circumstances, I do not go through anybody's phone. That's your own private matter. Most of the men that I date, I trust tremendously. Why would I be with them otherwise? There's no sense in being in a relationship if you can't trust somebody. And that is what I'm getting to. I knew I could not trust this motherfucker. Anyway, I go through his phone. He has got naked pictures of himself, of all these women, and texting them. He's on some random site that you get on through your phone. You can't get on it on the internet. It has to be through your phone. It's called AirG or something ridiculous. At any rate, I was fucking infuriated. I was infuriated. So, to cure my furiousness, I decided to be a fucking cunt and send in a text these pictures to his entire goddamn family. Honey, it did not take long at all. This was in the middle of the night. It did not take long at all for his grandmother, his dad, his mother, all of them to respond and be like, what the fuck is going on? Guess who got the blame for the shit? Honey, I have never taken a naked picture on my phone. I told this fool, I went round and round with him. I told him that any woman that wants to see your naked body before she meets you, or any woman that wants photographs like that, is not worth having around. Because if she's getting those photographs from you, she's getting them from a lot of other men too. She's a fucking whore. It's that goddamn simple. There is no excuse you can come up with. When I meet a man, I have class, honey. When I meet a man, I do not want to see his dick. That is the quickest way to get you deleted permanently from my life. I don't want to see it. I've gone over that and over that and over that. If I want to see your dick, it's going to be in fucking person. There is no reason why you should send out photographs of it. Any man that does that has no fucking self-esteem whatsoever. Any woman that accepts that has no fucking self-esteem whatsoever. That is a fact. It is not going to change. Get some fucking self-esteem and have decent relationships. Well, I finally broke the bank and went overboard and bought myself a cigarette machine. Honey, I'm turning cigarettes out left and right. I cannot wait until my medicinal herb plants, and by that I'm not talking about marijuana, so grow the fuck up. My medicinal herb plants grow so I can dry them and have some good cigarettes, like flavored cigarettes. I bought a cigarette machine specifically for that purpose because I'm here to tell you, it's saved me probably $600 a month since I've owned a cigarette machine for the past 2 months. It is outrageous, the cost of cigarettes, but if you buy one of these cigarette machines, Honey, I'm turning them out left and right. You can see them in the ashtray behind me. I just line them up. Love it. My suggestion is buy one of those. Don't be buying cigarettes by the pack. If more of us go to rolling our own cigarettes, you can roll whatever flavor tobacco you want. You are not spending anywhere near as much money. Fuck these cigarette companies, honey. They're putting shit in those cigarettes that are killing you. Tobacco itself does not kill you. Pure tobacco does not kill you. It has tar and it has nicotine. It does not have cyanide and all these other fiberglass and all that. So I set up my fish tank, my 10-gallon fish tank, of which I had many, 3 or 4 of the motherfuckers, because I used to raise betta fish. Anyhow, I have one left. I set it up the other day for the first time. I love betta fish. I love fish of any kind, but betta fish are my all-time favorite. And I used to raise them and loved it. I love it. So I'm going to start doing that again. That's my point. At any rate, I'm still missing my 30-gallon tank that fucking ex-landlord of mine stole when I moved. And pretty much she locked it up in the fucking apartment. So I have no access to it whatsoever. Hundreds of dollars worth of chicklets, African chicklets, that I had raised since they were babies, gone, just fucking gone. And I'm not going to fight anybody over stupid shit like that. But every day I think about my fish. Every day I think about the furniture that I lost because my ex would go out on the streets and find shit that one person's trash is another person's treasure, and that is no fucking joke. People throw away shit. My ex found folding tables. He found all kinds of shit. Not the ignorant ex that I talk about a lot. I'm talking about the Latino ex that I had. He would take my Ford Explorer that I had at the time, I no longer have, and would go around town and just pick shit up. Honey, this fool made almost $600 in one day by going around to the neighbors and collecting scrap metal and taking it to the scrapyard. Shit they just did not even want. He had a business sense about him that just blew my fucking mind. And creativity. At any rate, he was an asshole. He was abusive too. But at least he brought me gifts all the time. This other motherfucker, please. He wanted shit constantly. He's a goddamn mama's boy. And I wasn't trying to put up with that. As you can clearly see, I don't put up with that kind of shit, and I wasn't going to. And I will. I'm going to tell y'all what, the best thing about me owning this house, I was jogging yesterday, went to the service station, saw one of my neighbors there, who, by the way, I'd never met before, but he offered me a ride home. And I said, well, I'd rather walk. And he said, well, I'm going right by there, so it makes no sense. And I said, well, it does make sense because I want to exercise, but okay, I'll ride with you. At any rate, I am thrilled about the fact that everybody in this town has commented on the work that I've done on this house. They are loving it. To be perfectly honest, mine is one of the most nice houses on the block now. I am hiring a painter to paint outdoors. So if any of you know a decent painter, then inbox me and let me know their information. I pay cash. I do not take out taxes. Because most of the jobs are under what is required for taking out taxes, so it's pointless for me to do so. I am also hiring someone to trim trees in my back lawn, which is approximately 8 hours worth of work. And that's cash paid as well. I also need someone with a garden tiller to come out and till the parts of my garden that I have already harvested so that I can set it up for next year. So if any of you guys know anybody, I'm trusting you to refer someone to me that can come look at these things. I also need someone to come look at the electricity, the plumbing, just to make sure everything's okay. I also need a ladder because I have to fix my chimney. It's leaking into my house because of all this fucking rain. I had an immaculate garden. It's still immaculate, but it's dying off quickly because of all this rain. It's just drowning it. And I'm not real pleased about that, but what can you do? You know, I'd rather have the rain than a dried up garden. I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. It's not even a secret necessarily. That with as many guy friends as I have, I can honestly pick and choose when to have sex, who I want to fuck. I have an entire, I don't know what adjective I should use there, color palette, I guess, of different races, different ages. So I can pretty much pick and choose who the hell I want to be with. But I'm here to tell you that I have not had sex or a decent relationship in years. Since like 2008, and it's now 2013. If they're not fucking retarded, they're abusive, they talk about how they don't want to have sex, they get lazy and bored. I don't know how anybody can be bored with me because I constantly keep things interesting. I'm not going to just lay around. I'm not one of these bitches that does that. My point is, I have not had sex in months. Not at all. Seriously. I'm not a fucking whore. I want to have sex with somebody that I value talking to. I value their intelligence. So if you're trying to hit on me and you don't have any of those things, you're wasting my time and yours. I want to build a relationship, a foundation with someone before I do the sex thing. My guy friends, there's plenty of them I would sleep with, but there's something missing. Which, with each one of them, it's something different that will not permit me to do so. A lot of guys, like I said before, will promise you the moon and not deliver. That is bullshit to me. What I say is fact. What you see is what you get. You're not going to have to question whether or not I'm going to be faithful, because I will be. If you don't want to put in the effort to have a relationship and you just want a piece of ass, don't even fucking contact me. Because it's a waste of time for both of us. And that is the conclusion of my video for August 1st, 2013.